another vlog. I have a bunch of b-roll that I'm sharing from getting to go home for 24 hours. I called my baby sister and I said, hey, do you want to have a sleepover? And she was like, yeah. And it's been a little bit since I've seen my family, so I went back home to Northern California and literally was home for 24 hours. I had Wednesday, Thursday off, and today is Friday afternoon at 1:30. Today I'm starting a 4-day block, and I was scheduled for airport standby tonight from 6 to 11 p.m. I literally spent the morning doing Bible study with Damon, and we were watching Justice League, hanging out this morning, which was really nice to spend time with him. And I got a call from crew scheduling that my schedule had changed. I literally just got dressed for the gym, had my shoes on, my headphones on, was ready to walk out the door, and I got a call from them, and they're giving me a 2-hour call out, which means that's like the minimum chunk of time that they can give us to get to the airport for some flying. So it's a good thing I didn't head out to the gym, because I am now doing a Sacramento turn, and then I am going to Missoula tonight and overnighting there, and then coming back to Seattle tomorrow morning. As of right now, that's the schedule that they've given me. So I am not going to the gym right now. I am going to literally get in the shower, start getting ready, pack some food for the overnight, and just make sure I'm ready to go. I have like an hour until I have to head out to make it to the airport. So that's kind of what happens when you're on reserve. I wanted to vlog this because this is how it goes. Sometimes that happens. You make plans and then you have to be super flexible with your day and be able to change things around. So that's all right. I'm excited to do some flying. It is pretty nasty here in Seattle. It snowed a couple days ago and it's pretty cold. When I flew in from California last night, it was like 35 degrees and it's rainy and windy and pretty much the same today, pretty yucky. So it is what it is, but I'm gonna go get ready and I will follow up with you guys later. I'm just kidding. Literally, crew scheduling called me back like 3 minutes later and changed my schedule. So they ended up taking off the overnight off of my schedule. So I'm not going to Missoula, which you guys know, I literally love my Montana layovers. I love Missoula, so I was totally fine with going. But as of right now, I am just doing the Sacramento, Seattle turn. And then I'll be back home tonight by like 8 o'clock and I'll be able to make it to the gym after that. So we'll see if that sticks. I know that I'm not on an airport anymore, so if anybody else calls out, they might have to add to my schedule. So I'm still gonna pack some food just in case they do add on. I know that some of my other flight attendant friends that I've talked to lately said that they are tagging them with so much extra flying, like they've just been flying nonstop. So I'm preparing for the worst, and if I get to just do a turn and come home today, that's great. And then I'll go to the gym tonight and just hang out here. But that's what happens. Literally, crew scheduling will call you back and change your schedule within minutes, you guys. I'm gonna go shower and get ready, and I'll catch you guys at the airport. Bye. So I am headed to work. Sorry, I can't turn my camera around right now. I know that my steering wheel is in the way, but I'm headed to work and I totally forgot. I was kind of in a rush, got ready super fast, packed up my stuff, grabbed some protein shakes to have just in case of emergency if they do add on. I didn't really have time to pack any extra food. The plane is supposed to be departing at 3:25, which is my show time since it was a 2-hour call out. So the entire plane is gonna be waiting for me to get there, which is so stressful. So I'm trying to do everything I can to get there. Got in my car, realized that I was on empty from last night because I was planning on getting gas on my way to the gym. And so I was so stressed I wasn't gonna make it, but I left with enough time to stop at a gas station and just put enough gas in to make sure that I'll get home tonight, no problem, if I do end up going home tonight. So I stopped to do that, and then as I was driving on the freeway, I'm pulling up to the employee lot right now, it started hailing, and it's just so crazy outside. The traffic is super heavy, so it can be a little stressful. The 2-hour call outs can. We're gonna do the best that we can. You know what? It's not our fault that someone else called out, and we are coming to save the day and help out. So that's how I look at it. I'm pulling up to the employee lot and gonna head to the airport. I just made it to my plane, and I said, okay, we're good to go, let's board. So I'm in the back setting up my cart, and we are on our way to Sacramento. So we landed in Sacramento. It was super bumpy, you guys. It was really bumpy on the climb out of Seattle and descending into Sacramento. It was pretty wild, so I never enjoy it. My passengers were like, are you used to this? And I was like, I'm more okay with it than like when I was just a passenger, but I was like, I still don't enjoy the turbulence, you know? it was pretty bumpy, but I still managed to squeeze in a service, which was nice. I would prefer to do a service than just sit in my seat and do nothing. It gets kind of boring. We are, since they were waiting on me, the flight was pretty delayed, so we literally just cleaned up the cabin and we are immediately going to start boarding our next flight. We're headed back to Seattle, and then after that I got tagged with more flying. I'm headed to Spokane for the night, and then I'll check in with you guys after that. I have some more updates, but I just don't have time right now. I'm trying to chug a protein shake. We just landed in Seattle. We are literally going to deplane and rush over to our new plane, and we are going to start boarding and head to Spokane for the night. I seriously have so much to tell you guys though. Midnight. I am in my hotel room finally. We got in, well actually me and my other flight attendant got sent to separate hotels, which is super weird. I've never been to this hotel, but it is really, really nice. Super bougie, so I'm not complaining, but when I got here, they didn't have a room ready for me. They didn't have a room, there's like a mix-up, and so I had to call crew scheduling, and I was down in the lobby for about 20 to 30 minutes just waiting for them to resolve the issue. So that was a little frustrating, and then I was just so hungry because I did not get to eat all day. So I have a lot to update you guys on, but it's after midnight. I just finished eating dinner. I'm gonna wash my face and brush my teeth and crawl in bed. I have no idea when my van pickup time is because I went down to pick up my food at Ask, and the guy at the front desk said that he didn't have like the paperwork. The room was already locked for the night, so he couldn't access it. But I know that my report time is at 2, so I'm guessing my van pickup time is at 1:40. So I have some time to sleep in, and then I'll be able to catch up with you guys and just share what I am doing, because crew scheduling has tacked on quite a bit of flying. So a turn turned into a 4-day trip for me, basically, long story short. And yeah, it was super, super bumpy tonight, you guys. It was really rough. So I'll have to like update and kind of just share about how today went and what the next few days are gonna look like. I'll share some of the details in the morning, but for now, I'm gonna wrap it up and I'm gonna head to bed. Good night. I've been up for a couple hours. I was on the phone with Damon this morning, just talking to him. We were supposed to hang out this morning, but he ended up having to leave the house and go help his family. So we were just talking this morning, and I was just trying to connect with him before my busy day and his busy day. And I made a little cup of coffee in the coffee maker up here because there's no free breakfast. Typically, when we're at like the fancier hotels, breakfast isn't free, and I think it's like $20 a person. It said anywhere from $16 to $20 a person. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna do that. I might go down there and just see, like, I think it might just be like a restaurant or something like that. So I'm not quite sure because I got in so late last night and I was just trying to get a room. I didn't get to tell you guys, I don't know if I said last night because I was so tired. I just wanted to get to sleep. But when I got here yesterday, so I'm in Spokane, I'm pretty sure I said that, but when I got here last night, it was a little after 11 and they didn't have a room for me. And it was super weird because me and my other flight attendant were both staying here. Both of the pilots are based in Spokane, so they got to go home. So her and I hopped in the shuttle together, but she went to a different hotel, the hotel that I'm used to staying at here, and they dropped me off here and then they took her to the other one, which was super weird. Usually they don't split us up, but I think it's because they added me on last minute. Maybe the other hotel didn't have any rooms. I'm not really sure what happened. So I'm not complaining because this hotel is super fancy and bougie. It's really nice, and we're in downtown, which is really cool. So there's a lot of like food, and I'm gonna go walk later to this little grocery store and try to pick up some things. Yesterday was a little bit wild. So what was supposed to just be a Sacramento turn, which I kind of knew they were gonna tag me with extra stuff, I just had a feeling. They added my flight to Spokane overnight here, and then I was supposed to deadhead home today. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. And then I got a call from them and they added extra flying, so it turned into a 15-hour layover here. And then I think I'm going from here, Spokane to Portland, and then Spokane back to Seattle, and then Seattle over to Portland. And then I was gonna be deadheading home from there, I think. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. And then they called me again, you guys, and they ended up giving me a 4-day trip. So it was just like, they just kept adding, which is totally fine. Like, I'm happy to be flying. Otherwise, I probably would have been on airport standby. And I don't mind airport standby, but it does get kind of boring sometimes. I don't mind it, but I definitely did not pack accordingly, and that's like my fault. So I did not bring enough food, and that's kind of my biggest concern. So last night I DoorDashed because it was midnight by the time I got up to my room, and I hadn't eaten yesterday. I just didn't have time because we were delayed, and obviously like I had a 2-hour call out, so I was rushing here. I chugged a protein shake on the way, and then we flew all the way through like dinner time and got in super late last night. Like, it was just back-to-back flights. So I didn't really have any food to eat, so I just had another protein shake. So basically I just had a couple protein shakes yesterday. I was like, I need food. I was starving. So I got some food last night, and I just got a call from the limo service that picked us up a little bit ago. My van pickup time is at 1:40 p.m. and I have to be at the airport at 2 o'clock. So it's about 11 o'clock right now, so I've got a little bit of time. I'm gonna finish this cup of coffee and go throw on some gym clothes and just go move my body. I definitely want to get on the treadmill. I've never been to this gym because I've never been to this hotel before, so I'm not sure what kind of equipment they have. If they have something, I might try to do a light upper body workout. It's gonna be my first one, so I'm kind of excited about that because it's been a month. Obviously I'm still recovering from my trapezius strain, so I am gonna play it by ear. So it snowed here last night and it's really cold. All right, I ran across the street to a market. I was super short on time because I was on the phone this morning and I just slept in and stuff, so I didn't know how long it was gonna take me, but I raced over to a little co-op not too far, grabbed some little goodies, and then raced back upstairs to get changed, and I'm headed downstairs for my van pickup. To our plane, we are starting to board. I'm working in the back today. So I did make it to Portland. We just landed a few minutes ago and deplaned. I was waiting for the cleaners to get off before I got situated, but I've got some lunch here that I'm gonna eat. I'm waiting for Damon to call me back. He's at work right now as well, but I wanted to check in with him. The ride was pretty good. It's about a 55-minute flight from Spokane this morning, or I guess this afternoon, but it was a little bumpy pretty consistently, so we did get seated early. I just did apple juice and water in the main cabin, and we've got like an hour and a half until we board our next flight. We're just headed to Seattle, super short. I'm not doing service in the back, so it's kind of hard when you have like a sit just to do such a short flight, and then we do have like a 3-hour sit in Seattle once we get there as well before our last flight of the night, so that's kind of a pain. And I was so rudely interrupted by my boyfriend calling. I'm just kidding, but I did talk to him for a little bit, so I got interrupted. But I think I was just saying sometimes it's annoying to have a sit, like multiple sits throughout your day. Sometimes it's nice to go back to back, but on the flip side, if you go back to back, it's really hard to eat. So I am eating this sandwich. I'll show y'all. And a little Diet Coke to refresh, and we've got a little over an hour until we start boarding, I believe. So I'm just gonna sit here, finish eating. I'm gonna pull out my book I've been reading, the Running Scared book, because I haven't been doing a good job of reading consistently like every single day. So I'm trying to get back into that because I've kind of stopped that habit. And so I want to read some more, a little bit further in my book. I'm gonna do some reading and I'll check in later. Got to eat a yummy little sandwich and drank a Diet Coke and just got to chat with my crew. I was just talking with my flight attendant. She's my friend from training. I don't know if I told you guys that I was flying with a friend from training, but she's super nice, and so we were just chatting and we're getting ready to board. I am staying seated for this flight. It's a 30-minute flight over to Seattle and it's going to be bumpy the whole time, so we're both going to stay seated, and then we have like a 3-hour sit in Seattle, so I'll catch you guys there. Bye. We made it to Seattle. Alright, I made it to my plane. We've been sitting in Seattle. I think I started to update you guys, but I know that Damon called me, so I finished watching Justice League with him. I walked over to one of the gates and with some empty seating and a table and just hung out with him for a little bit, and then I realized that I left my book on the plane, my last plane, and so I kind of was on the hunt for that for a little bit, but I was able to retrieve it. We just got to our new plane. I just finished pre-flighting and I'm gonna get my cart set up. I'm still working in the back tonight, but we are headed to Boise. I haven't got any details from the captain, so I'm not sure how bumpy it's gonna be or what the flight time is yet, but I will try to update before we board. So I just got to my room in Boise. It is a little after midnight. It's 12:25 here, but there's a time difference, so 11:25 for my body time, but still pretty late. I'm gonna see if I'm not sure if I'm gonna eat a snack or not. I didn't really eat dinner, but I ate a super late lunch and I'm still pretty full from that, so I may or may not eat a little snack. And I am going to get into my pajamas, brush my teeth, wash my face, and get ready for bed. The flight over here was good. It was an hour flight from Seattle. We were in Seattle now. A little bumpy, but nothing too bad. I was able to do my full service in the back. And yeah, it was a really good day overall. And tomorrow our van pickup time is at 1 p.m. So I've got some time to get up, get breakfast, go to the gym, and then head out for another day of flying. That's all I've got for tonight. Good night. Good morning. It is snowing here in Boise. let's see, I think it's just after 10 o'clock. I set a couple alarms to try to get up for breakfast, and I made it. So I just went downstairs and I grabbed it to go. I'll show you what I got in just a few minutes when I go start eating it. But I just brought it back up to the room and sat in bed for like 15 minutes because I am just super tired. I went to bed at like 1:30, almost 2 o'clock last night, I think. So this is the hard part of, one of the harder parts of the job is just adjusting to the time differences. I'm only an hour ahead right now, but just landing late and getting up in the morning for breakfast when you get in super late is hard. But I wanted to try because as you guys know, yesterday I did some shopping at a little co-op when I was in Spokane yesterday morning before a day of flying. So I want to make my food last until tomorrow, which I definitely think I can, but I wanted to eat the breakfast here, and it was really good. It was a super big open space to sit and hang out and lots of food options, so that's really cool. But I just grabbed some stuff to go, and I'm gonna eat that, and we'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna turn on some Netflix and crawl back in bed. It's snowing outside. I just feel like being cozy in bed. We do have a very long day of flying today. It's day 3 of 4. And sometimes after a few days of flying, long days of flying, you just start to feel super, super tired. So I'm kind of feeling that, a little exhausted. I'm gonna go eat and just cruise this morning, but I wanted to check in. And I'll let you guys know if I end up going to the gym or if we just start getting ready for work, but that's all I've got. So sometimes I just grab a lot of extra stuff, like if they have to go things like this for like a future trip where I need a quick breakfast. So I grabbed this oatmeal, I've got an orange, I've got some passion orange mango juice, a coffee, and then I always do this to, keep my food warm. They had like little cheese omelets and it didn't look good. But I got a little cinnamon sweet roll, some biscuits and gravy, some potatoes, and some sausage. So very carb heavy this morning, but I balanced it out with some fruit.
A heap of trouble. It's not just foster care we talk. And this time, I know you've gotten hold of a compass.
Say hi, baby.
Hey, baby.
Seriously, the snow is just coming down. I mean, it just keeps getting more and more snow. The snow is wild, but we are ready to go. I'm gonna head downstairs for my van pickup. We're gonna head to the airport. We just got on the plane. We're gonna get ready to board in about 10 minutes. We're headed to Phoenix today. The sun is shining. It is so nice, you guys. I literally asked the agent if I could go stand outside for a minute and just soak in the sun. I did for a couple minutes. It was so nice. Flight was pretty smooth. We're getting ready to board in a few minutes and we're headed right back to Boise. Alright, so we made it to Boise. We've got about 35 minutes until we board our last flight of the night. We're going to be headed to Spokane. Both our flights so far have been good. I'm working in the front. I'm just going to get a little snack and regroup, stay hydrated, and then we're going to finish the night and end up at a hotel in Spokane. So the lighting in here is literally atrocious. I'm sorry, and the AC is like super loud, or the heater, I don't know what's on, but I wanted to check in. I just got to my hotel in Spokane. It was just me because the rest of my crew is Spokane based, so it was just me coming here, and sometimes that does happen where you're either, you know, on reserve, you're catching up to a crew, and so they'll deadhead you out the night before and you'll spend the night by yourself and then meet a crew. So you're responsible for getting to the shuttle, getting into your room, doing your room check, being safe, all of that, getting food. Like, it's just you, yourself, and you. That's it. I always recommend, like, if you are gonna be by yourself, like, I will always text Damon, my boyfriend, let him know when I'm leaving the airport, when I'm in the shuttle, when I make it to my room, or like get to the hotel, like get to my room, all of those things, just to have someone who's like aware of what's going on. So it's always nice just to text someone when you're by yourself, because safety is important. That is what you will learn in this job, safety first. It's about 9 o'clock, a little after 9. I'm not starving, and I'm also waiting for Damon to call me on his break because he's at work as well. I'm thinking that I'm gonna go to the gym. The gym here is really nice. I think I have an hour to get changed and go do a quick little workout, and then I think I'll come back and heat up my dinner. I think I have a steak and cheddar burrito that I got from the co-op the other day. Oh yeah, you guys, I didn't even get to update you. So I was planning on going to the gym tomorrow. My plan was to just deadhead back to Seattle, and that was all they had scheduled me for. My deadhead was at, like, I think I had my report time was like 8:25. I think the flight left at maybe 9, and I was gonna be home by 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then not this flight from Boise to Spokane, but the one before that, when we were deplaning, I think it was the Phoenix to Boise flight, we were still deplaning, and I could feel my phone buzzing, and I just knew it was crew scheduling. I like peeked at my phone, and sure enough it was them, but I didn't answer because you don't have to answer when you're still working. Like, I'm taking care of passengers first, and you know, saying goodbye and just making sure that everybody's off the plane before I answer my phone. Like, we don't check our phone during that time. So I go to check my schedule, and I had a feeling they were gonna tag me with extra flying because it was like too good to be true to be home, like to be off early. They scheduled me for an El Paso turn, which is literally like one of the longest flights possible that they could have scheduled me for tomorrow. So instead of getting home at 10 a.m., I'm getting home at 10 p.m. tomorrow. So I did cry a little bit, but also I kind of expected it. It is what it is. It's gonna be a good day either way, but just a lot longer than I thought. So I'm gonna go move my body today because tomorrow is super long. I will literally be flying in the air all day. The El Paso flight is like 3.5 hours, or I think 3.5 or 4 hours typically. So I'll be gone for majority of the day, or in the air most of the day, and definitely won't make it to the gym tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna go at least do some cardio. I'm not sure, but I'll let you guys know what I do. I'll take you with me. Just finished some cardio and did a little bit of legs, and I'm so happy that I moved. I'm gonna go eat dinner and call Damon on his break. I do not want to get out of bed. I'm so tired today. All right, I'm heading to the airport. Just landed in Seattle. I'm literally racing down to my gate because we're gonna start boarding in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to go get set up for our El Paso turn. I just made it to my plane. I finished my pre-flight. I'm working in the back today. The flight's about 2 hours and 50 minutes over to El Paso. We're getting ready to board. I'll see you guys there. We made it to El Paso. It was a good ride. It was a little bumpy on the climb out and our descent in, just because the weather and the air has been pretty crappy lately, kind of everywhere. So that was to be expected, but when we were in cruise while I was doing service, it was really smooth. It went by nice. However, on the way back, it was a pretty short ride for El Paso, 2 hours and 50 minutes, because we had a nice little tailwind pushing us along, and that means that on the way back we are going to have a headwind, so I'm sure it's gonna be more like 4 hours, which definitely is just like a long flight for us. Like for me, I'm used to the shorter flights, so it's kind of always funny when I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a long flight, but it's all good. I brought my book, and yeah, I think we're gonna have a full cabin on the way back, so we'll see how that goes. We weren't completely full in the last one. We were pretty full, but not completely, which is nice. so it can get a little rowdy when the plane is at max capacity, but it is what it is, and it's my last flight, and then I'm gonna be done. I'll probably get home at like 10 o'clock or something, maybe like 10:30, 11 I'll be home, but we should be back by like 10 p.m. and that's all I got. We've got a little bit of time until we start boarding, so I'm just hydrating, getting a little snack in me, and hanging out until we board.